I'm so glad this is the one you're back for.
See, last week was Den of Thieves, so...
I was trying to think of what the last one was. Were you at Insidious 4? The Lost Key, or the Last Key? Okay. I couldn't remember.
Key of Solomon.
Right. We went out to, it was great. We went out to dinner the other night, and it was us, because it was mainly just like, so you missed Truth or Dare. So we were talking about Truth or Dare and Acrimony and
I missed a lot of
like show dogs and like shit like that. Like fucking brought up and like Winchester. And
thinking about it, I either missed a lot of good ones or missed a lot of really terrible ones.
Oh, we were primarily mentioning the terrible ones. And like there's just something so right about this being like the return after a few months, man. And Laura was so happy too. She was.
You're off the hook on this one.
Yeah, Laura goes to me. She goes like, I don't know if I'm the audience for this. I'm like, I don't think me and Brian are either. But like,
I don't think there is an audience for this. There are a lot of people sitting around like, I know a remake of a blaxploitation film that most people don't know about.
And I love Superfly, the original.
You love this and you know it.
Oh, it was so good. I love the original Superfly because I've seen it. I've got it at home throughout this movie, and we were talking about this in the parking lot, that throughout this movie I was like, fuck, I know there's a lot left to get to. Freddy is still there. Like, I know there's a lot to get to. We gotta get to the cops and all that. Fuck, this is a long movie. God damn it. It's like 2 hours fucking long.
It felt like it was a really long time before the fucking cops finally showed up. I'm like,
dude,
it's like,
yeah.
Did they just lose that plot line? Like, not going there? Like, oh no, here they are.
It feels like this movie loses a lot of plot line, and then when it catches back up to it, like, okay, when the rival gang, the Snow Patrol, when like there's a shootout with them towards the beginning of the movie, a bunch of them get shot, then maybe 20 or more minutes later is when Priest gets the phone call like, yo man, the Snow Patrol got hit, and I was sitting there like, oh right, that did happen like 20-30 minutes ago. But
it fucked me up when that happened, because for us it was still like, yeah, like 20-30 minutes ago. It was a long time as far as movie time goes, but like in the world of that movie, like he was back for like a day or two when he got that phone call. So they're like, oh, I just heard Snow Patrol got hit. It's like, you just heard a couple days later?
Because in between all that was that plot thread of setting up the Isai Morales character and all that cartel and everything. Like, so quite a bit happened there, like, story-wise, so I just forgot about that other shit that was going on. The movie it's Superfly, again, only... Take everything that made the other movie work, whether it's the editing, the style, the acting, the soundtrack, all of that. It's doing Superfly again, but taking out everything that made the other movie cool.
Yeah, it's adapting it for modern sensibilities, like, you know, like, oh, trading out like his old like El Dorado for like a fucking souped up like sports model Lexus, or like, I think, like, I saw something like a lot of the original music is done by Future.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, okay, that brings it up, like, okay, that's a thing that connects with now, but part of the whole blaxploitation thing was, like, the music, the style, like, the, you know, like, the fact, like yeah, like, in the original, like, they borrowed a car from an actual fucking pimp.
Right.
Like, like that movie was the reason that people started doing that.
There was one part of this movie that I liked, and that's the part where it was playing Pusher Man by Curtis Mayfield, and I'm saying right now 100% of the reason why it was the only scene I liked was because it was playing Pusher Man by Curtis Mayfield.
And it really worked for that scene, but it's like one of those things, like, it's in there because, like, well, you have to put it in there.
Yeah. I mean, I was also waiting for, like, Freddy's Dead to start playing at some point, and at the end, it does, like, kind of a remix of the Superfly theme. But I mean, this movie was worse than Superfly TNT. This is like the fourth Superfly movie. This, at least Superfly TNT, it wasn't very good, but it still had Ron O'Neal there, so he's great in the role as Priest. This movie is like arguably better or worse than Return of Superfly from like the 90s. It's just a nothing movie. It's you know what this movie feels like? It feels like a few different things, but like you know what it feels like? It feels like one of those movies that would have come out like 16 or 17 years ago and would have had like the number 2 in the title, not because it's a sequel, but because it's replacing the word 2. Like
I feel like this is a movie that, like, yeah, like 16 years ago we should have seen, but it would have been called like, you know, like Superfly 2000, and it would have been like Wesley Snipes.
And for whatever reason, like Jet Li would also be in it. Like, this movie is produced by Joel.
He would have been Eddie.
Yeah. This movie's produced by Joel Silver.
Randomly.
That when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because this isn't Lethal Weapon Joel Silver here. This is like Romeo Must Die Joel Silver. Like, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
This movie feels like it's even kind of shot like that, and it feels like that. The action sequences are not well done at all.
Yeah,
in
like
this movie.
the couple fight scenes are all like huge slow motion fight scenes, like just but like punctuated with the like it's like every time like a punch is something like
Yeah.
like to hide the fact that no one really knows what they're doing.
You can tell it's shot by a music video director. Like it looks like that a lot of the time, and it's like it should. It's like we're watching a condensed. Something you said out there too. It's like
Yeah.
you're watching a condensed 2-hour version of like a whole season's worth of like a Superfly television series because like they're riding off of Empire's success.
Yeah, but even at that, like it still felt like it still felt like it was watching an entire season. Where like I felt like we just binge watched like 8 hours of Superfly.
Yeah.
But
We're
no,
gonna
like,
chop this up, throw it out in theaters.
But it really does. Like it feels like if this was on like either like opposite on another channel or like the lead in or the follow up to like Empire. Mm-hmm. You know, like oh, this is like our like double feature night, like Empire followed by a new Superfly.
Yeah.
It's like fine. And I honestly think that it would have done better potentially as a series.
It could have.
Like there's enough meat on the bones and there's enough like stuff that they touch on, but not really to any sort of payout. Like the whole plot line with the cops is just so fucking unnecessary in this one.
It comes into it about 80% into the film.
Yeah, the movie is most of the way done. It never really causes that big of an impact other than like, well, we need to find a way for Fat Freddy to die. It's like, so I guess we'll just do like a, you know, cop shooting. Like, yeah, we'll cover it up that way. Haha. No, we're so clever. And then that goes away for a while till they just randomly show up again and be like, oh, we want money. That goes away again until they finally like, oh, we want money again. Oops, we're busted. It's like that's it. Like they're there for like really like 3 fucking scenes.
Yeah.
Like, if not for the fact that Fat Freddy had to die, there would have been like no need for that plot line. Honestly, at this point, they could have replaced that with just like, and he got killed by like one of the Snow Patrol guys.
They didn't even put the song in either. God damn it. How am I supposed to know if he's officially dead unless Curtis Mayfield starts singing? And there's another thing about, and I was you leaned over and said something really quickly into this movie too, and like, this movie apparently, and you can tell when you're watching it, this movie apparently had a really quick like post-production time.
It feels like it was almost non-existent because some of the stuff like almost immediately like the ADR work is just all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Like that whole like one of the first conversations in the movie like between like 2 of the Snow Patrol guys, like I honestly don't know if they like if they just had to completely change that scene and just did the whole fucking thing in post, because nothing lines up. It's like you're watching an old fucking 70s like chop socky fucking kung fu flick.
Yeah.
It's like this is not the same, guys. Like,
and that's it. I was mainly fascinated by the jackets that they're wearing, because it's in this club, and the Snow Patrol, they're all dressed in white and everything, and they have like their own section at this club where there's all these strippers, and when you see them in their group, there's just like money just shooting out into the air behind them, amongst them. It looks like they have some kind of rig in their jackets that's just causing money to spurt everywhere. It's like, well, those jackets seem expensive.
All of them have a little backpack on that has like a t-shirt cannon, just stuffed full of $100 bills.
It was ridiculous. And like that car chase later on, that suddenly it looks like it switches to a different kind of like film stock. Like,
it's wildly obvious. Like, yeah, like they're like, oh shit, car chase scene, and then I don't know, like it switches over to like it tracks too fast. It's way too clean looking. Like, it's like this is being filmed on like a cell phone, or like somebody out there with a really nice like GoPro or something like that. Like, it doesn't fit the rest of the movie at all, but it's a chase movie that feels like it could have taken place driving at normal speeds around the same block.
yeah.
Because it's nothing but like tight zoom-ins and the sounds of engines revving, and then just like front bumper, front bumper, front bumper, front bumper, back window, front bump.
Dude.
It's like, you can't see fucking anything. Like, there's like, you know that, like, I guess like, you know that they're chasing because one's in front and one's in back. It's a black car and a white car. They're easy to spot.
The scene ends with the car exploding by crashing into a Confederate soldier, a Confederate soldier statue.
It's just out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And like, so
Like, they're like driving through the park like it's fucking Lethal, or not Lethal Weapon,
Die Hard 3.
Die Hard 3.
And like, even like the regular dialogue conversations in the car are kind of shot like this. Like, Priest and Eddie are sitting in the car. There'll be line, cut to a shot of the outside of the car. Line, cut to the wheel. Line, cut to like the hood and the city's reflected in it. Line, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm watching this going like, you know, like, there's like directors out there who could just take this and run with it. Like, if you gave this to like, I mean, even like Antoine Fuqua or beyond him, like Michael Mann could have taken this and like ran with it.
Michael Mann would have been a very good pick for this. I mean, considering the subject matter, I mean, it's kind of his forte.
Well, hell, I mean, like the shots of like the car they were doing were like Miami Vice-ish, yeah, except like badly edited.
Like, kind of like that nice like mid-level shot of just like the car driving at night.
Yeah.
You hear dialogue and some music, but we're never going inside. Like, we've already covered who's in the car. You know who's talking.
It's one of those films where like no matter who won at the end of this, I wouldn't have cared. Like, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, like, Priest is our lead, so I guess I gotta root for him, but the performance in the film is just, it's very monotone. It's a very one-note performance. I'm not saying that the guy couldn't do good in something else, but
in this, especially like what they have him doing, how they have him acting, and especially how they have him dressed, he comes across like he's fucking the Asylum's Black Panther.
yeah. I think the one guy called him Morris Day at one point, and it does one of those jokes I hate, where Michael K. Williams calls him Morris Day, and the Priest goes, "Who?" Like, stop it.
It's like, you know, like, you can't dress like that, do what you do, talk about the stuff you talk about, and not know who Morris Day in the Times.
Like, fuck. It's, you're comparing, like, you're watching it and comparing it to Ron O'Neal's performance, which you have to, because it's a remake and it's kind of going pretty close as far as the story goes.
Yeah.
But the Ron O'Neal had like screen presence and a half, and the chops to really pull that off and make the character work and make him charismatic and really, really command the scene. In this, Not really. The guy's just kind of there and serviceable at best.
He feels like he does a lot of reacting to scenes.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they're relying really on the fact that, like, he shows up into every scene like fucking Wesley Snipes in Blade.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, he just waits for other people to do stuff so he can react to them or talk at them.
Yeah.
Like, if it never really feels like he's the one carrying the film.
Not at all.
Like he's the one who's just helping push it forward because he is the lead character.
He's the pusher, man.
And there it is. Good night, folks.
Welcome back. And you have, like, it's... There's just characters in this played by actors where I've seen them do similar roles and similar things, but in much better material. Michael K. Williams, for one. It's like, okay, I guess I should be watching The Wire right now. Esai Morales, who is the head of the cartel in this, and I think 80% of the time I see him in something, that's exactly what he's playing, and that's what he's doing here too. It's like, sure, yeah, he's good at it, but...
I mean, yeah, like, you're not giving him a lot of range, but... Fuck it, like, at least, like, when he, like... And it's exactly the sort of thing, like, exactly the problem that I have with Priest in this one, is that at least when Esai Morales is on screen, you know that he's fucking there, and he is the one driving the scene.
Yeah, big time.
Like, he comes in, he's like, I'm here to fucking work, and he does.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, at least whenever he was on screen, he's like, I mean, I didn't really amount to fucking anything, but at least it was like, here you go, this is how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, on the one hand, dude playing Priest, it's like, okay, you're going for a different kind of interpretation of this character. It's not just simply doing Ron O'Neal again, or a Ron O'Neal impersonation or anything like that. From the style to the lines and things like that, it's like, okay, this is trying to make Priest his own in this movie, but to really, really carry this, at least you don't have to do a Ron O'Neal impersonation, but you still got to command the screen or have some kind of charisma.
You could take a little bit from him, aside from his, like, hairstyle choices.
Yeah. Facial hair was a little similar.
Yeah, he kind of worked in, like, a new variation on, like, the mustache. You know, instead of having, like, the long, silky, flat ironed hair, he had, like, you know, like a different little, like, kind of like pompadour.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like you kept that part, and then it's like, and then have him wear all black like he's a fucking vampire.
Again, like his partner should be Jet Li in this film. Yeah. This has been DMX playing this 20 years ago.
Oh, God. God, that would have been it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's one of those films where I checked out so hard about 15 to 20 minutes of this movie, tops. And
the whole fucking thing, like, in a way, like, and again, like, you can really tell that it's by a music video director.
Yeah.
Like, especially with some of the like the style and the look that they gave to Priest, like, this felt like it was a 2-hour lead-in to, like, a music video for The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Like, if at the end of this he would have just started singing and, like, you know, like a synth beat would have laid down, it's like, and there it is, the longest music video ever, folks.
From the club scenes to the action scenes, the driving scenes, the sex scene in the movie. From all of that's exactly how the movie looks. And because I checked out so hard, like 20 minutes in, like in my head, I was just mainly, while this movie was on, I was mainly just planning out the rest of my week in my head. I'm like, I'm going out of town this weekend. Like, okay, let's see, what do I have left to do before I get to do this. Then when I get there, I got to do this. I mean, the movie was serviceable in that regard, I guess. It's a week planning movie. It's exactly what it is.
You really got a lot done during this.
I did. Honestly, I got a lot of stuff done.
You're at your most productive when you're watching the remake of Superfly.
So the movie, yeah, the movie works in some aspect, I guess, if you're a procrastinator. There's no reason to recommend watching this. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's boring for one. It's wildly boring.
Yeah, because no matter what the blaxploitation movie you favor is, that's always the one thing about it. They're fun, they're camp, they're over the top in every regard. This had none of that. This felt like it was like, okay, over there's the top, so let's not get too close. And everything just feels like it's played so fucking safe.
Yeah, it is.
There's like zero stakes ever.
Because I just don't care. Like, I don't. Like,
yeah, you're not connected to any of these fucking characters.
Yeah.
Like they tried making like a big moment whenever the other girl got shot.
Yeah, like his second
Cynthia.
girlfriend, yeah.
Like they tried making like a big thing, like, oh man, but it's like,
what do I care about that?
Yeah, I
don't. I wouldn't have even cared if he lived or died by the end of this movie. It wouldn't have impacted my thoughts about this film in any way, shape, or form.
I think it would have been a bolder choice if he would have died and then...
And Freddy lived?
Yes. No, if he would have died and then, like, you know, last scene, oh shit. Now, what was her name? Georgina?
Yeah.
If she was like, oh shit, now she's running shit.
Oh, yeah, then they'll make a sequel to it, and it'll be a remake of Velvet Smooth.
You just keep building these.
Yeah, it's a universe. Oh, shit! There. Oh my god!
Universe.
Oh my god! If there was like a fucking post-credit scene at the end of this fucking movie, where a guy comes out like, there are other Superflies out there, puts down a file, and it's like fucking like Mean Johnny Barrows or something.
Bring me the human tornado.
Oh, hell yeah. I can get behind this universe.
Sam Jackson shows up again saying he's putting together a team.
I'm putting together a team.
Pan down Lieutenant Shaft.
But it's like ones that like they could only get the rights to. Like Shaft would be too expensive, so they put down a file and it's like Lady Coco. Oh, fuck. No, any of those movies you could watch over this fucking movie. Like, there's no... Because the original Superfly is wildly in every way better than this film, there's no need to watch this. Just watch the original film.
Yeah, it honestly feels like if you're... I think, like, the audience for this was basically... Hey, like... My parents always talked about, like, Superfly, and, like, you know, it's really cool, but I'm more into, yeah, like, fucking, like, Empire.
Yeah.
So I'll watch this version. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the same thing, I bet.
It's really not.
It's like, there is more in common with the original, less with this, and more like that fucking, like, Loiter Squad sketch, for, Catchphrase Jones. I almost feel like there's more in common there. Like, fuck, like, Mad TV, like, Son of Dolomite.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Like, that was... Sarah and I brought that up. And,
Son of Dolomite?
I can't remember how it got brought up, but it did. We were talking about Son of Dolomite.
Probably because The Incredibles 2 was so similar.
Whatever we brought that up in probably would have made as much sense if we brought it up in our review for Incredibles 2. But yeah, we were talking about Son of Dolomite, and like, yeah, that was a sketch where it's clear as day. They know that source material.
Yeah,
like they got it down to a T.
It's like I didn't need this movie to explain to me how he knows karate.
I think the original also had like a karate scene in it, like that, where he's training for karate, but in this it didn't really have anything to do with the rest of the movie. It was just like, okay, no, he's there.
Because it wasn't like, because I'm trying to remember, like, wasn't like his guy Scatter, like his front in the original was like a restaurant though, wasn't it?
In this, it's a furniture store, right? Yeah.
Well, no, his is, but I mean, like, Scatter, the old man.
Yeah.
It was like a restaurant, not like a dojo.
There was... Man, man, how did the dojo come into it in the original? Because there
I
is
can't
the scene.
fucking remember.
There is the scene where he's got like the karate outfit on and everything. But fuck yeah, that I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the original, but I've seen the original a few times.
It's been since 1974.
Yeah. No, but like, I mean, I remembered enough about the original to be watching this going like, okay, we got to get here, and here. But no, just watch the original, and if you want to, I guess if you're a Superfly completist and you've seen the other two sequels, all right. But like,
for all one or two of you out there who are Superfly completists,
yeah.
for the handful of you that were like, fucking finally.
About fucking time.
We can bring back Jumanji, but we can't bring back Superfly.
Any final thoughts about this? I don't recommend this. I didn't enjoy this. Is one of those movies this isn't gonna be on like my 10 worst list at the end of the year, but
it's gonna be nowhere at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's just gonna be this nothing movie that we saw in June, amongst much better movies that are out right now. Like it's not gonna be on my 10 worst list, but there's nothing I can recommend about this thing.
Yeah, there's really nothing that stands out about it. Fuck.
I'm telling.
And it's one of those things, like, I know I've seen longer movies in theater.
This felt so long.
But this felt like it was 3 hours at least. Like, I know, like I said, like, at a point, like, I just gotta go take a leak. Like,
yeah.
I usually, like, try to, like, not do that during movies, but I'm like, A, it really doesn't matter. Nothing is happening.
No, dude.
And B, it's like, well, at least from what I remember before, it's like we still haven't resolved, like, any of these plot threads. I'm like, so we're still nowhere near fucking done.
It's a movie that feels like it never starts and simultaneously just won't end. God. Well, in a couple of days, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out, but I'm going to be at that con. Yeah, I'm going to be at Planet Funk Con in Moline, so that'll be one Sarah and I'll check out once I get back from there. I don't know what else comes out this weekend, but we're going to get together sometime and watch Acrimony.
Yes, we do. I need some crazy Tyler Perry in my life.
Yeah, man, especially after this shit. Fuck, yeah. Like, I can't wait for you to see that movie. All right, everyone. See you later.